You're live, Don.
Oh wow, I can't hear anything. Something's going on. No, I heard no music, no nothing. What on earth is going on?
That's not good.
Yeah, I know. We've had some technology issues all week. We got knocked offline. I don't think it has anything. I have a new, connection. I have a new internet. So anyways, hi, everybody. What a way to start the show. Welcome to Lemon Live at 5, the Don Lemon Show. We're so glad that you're here. What a week it has been. So much. So I don't even know where to start. Actually, I do know where to start. I'm going to start with the breaking news, okay? So as we are streaming with you live, the breaking news is happening now. You guys kind of knew it was happening. I think people sort of hoped that the Democrats would not relent, acquiesce, any of that stuff. Well, they did. Chuck Schumer, 9 Democrats and 9 Democratic senators have voted to end debate on Mike Johnson's continuing resolution, effectively giving a massive win to the Republicans. The government will not shut down, which is probably a good thing, but it's still a very dark day for our country because what happens next? It seems like, Donald Trump has complete control of the government in the country. Here are the Democrats that we have that we know about. We know about a couple of them: Chuck Schumer, John Fetterman, Catherine Cortez Masto, Dick Durbin, Angus King, Brian Schatz, Maggie Hassan, Gary Peters. Let's see if there are any others. Stand by who are on this list. Gary Peters and then King, right? Schumer, Durbin, Schatz, Gillibrand, Hassan, Shaheen, Fetterman, Cortez Masto, Peters, and King. So for all of you hoping that, hey, we're going to fight back, they're going to fight back, no fighting back. So in moments like this, I say we either laugh or we cry, as I say every Friday. So in the Don Lemon Show, we choose to laugh on Friday. So Judy Gold joins us. She's a legend. She's a stand-up circuit, in the stand-up circuit. She's an actor. I think can I call you an activist, Judy?
Yes, please.
Yes. Television writer and producer. She's won daytime Emmys. For her work on the Rosie O'Donnell Show. And I just saw her the other night in the Joy Behar, I think, written and produced my first
ex-husband. I'm in it till the 23rd. It's really good, and I'm with Susan Lucci.
I know. You guys were fantastic. And
Thank you.
Can we talk about Susan Lucci?
Yeah, she's amazing. And so
she looks like she's like 35 years old. And I remember watching her on soap operas, I think, in the freaking 70s.
Well, also, we stay on stage during the other monologues, and her ass, can I tell, she is the tiniest human being, and her ass is so tight, and she's 78 years old. She's so amazing and the nicest.
Are you crushing or just complimenting?
No, I'm complimenting. But
one had to think about that. So if you're looking in the chat, people will say hello to you. Welcome, Judy, to the Lemon Nation.
Wait, how do I do that? Okay.
If you look on the stream, some of the folks, but if you're watching on YouTube, I would suggest
I can only see my awful face. I don't know.
Okay, well then don't worry about it. I'll tell you what people say.
Okay?
So how do you feel about this? How do you feel about Democrats this week in general? First in the Congress, and then, or I should say Congress, because the whole thing is the Congress. First in Congress, and then now in the Senate. How do you feel about them?
I don't even know if I can be a Democrat anymore. I am speechless at their behavior. What is going on? This man, human being, is ruining, like literally demolishing our democracy in front of our eyes. And you're like, oh, it's going to be really, then he's going to control the narrative and say that the government shut down because of, so what? Do something. He just did a speech where he wants his enemies imprisoned. This was all, we all knew this, and it's coming true, and no one is doing anything about it. I am like infuriated by what's
I just went
on.
out, Judy, and spoke to people on the street today, and most people feel exactly the way you feel. They said, of course, I don't want the government to shut down, but there's got to be a limit. Like someone has to stand up. They've got to do something. And I have been saying all week that I think that Democrats are not reading the room properly. I think Democrats want the government to shut down and are willing to sacrifice whatever it is that happens because they just want people to know. And I think they want the Trump folks to know it's like, hey, there is a limit to this.
But it's also this narrative that we have, like we're the ethical ones and we do what's right. It's not working. It has not worked. You can't fight this fire with, give me something.
With a glass of water?
We're down to an eye droplet. We're down to an eye droplet, Don. This stand up.
What about an ice cube?
Yeah, ice cube's good. But come on, I'm a comic. The one drop from the eye droplet.
I get it.
All right, whatever. I also wonder. I know that I wonder what, I mean, we all know all his sycophants. It's like, oh, I wonder what they have on him. I wonder what they have on Lindsey Graham. I wonder what they have on that. Well, we know what they have on Lindsey Graham, but you know what I'm saying, and
no, I don't know.
Oh, I'm gonna, maybe off the air because I don't out people, but what do they have on Chuck Schumer? Like, why? Let's have a leader who is willing to say, you know what, we don't want to shut the government down and we know this is bad, but we have to fight fascism. We need to fight that. This is turning into a dictatorship and we're doing nothing about it. We can't, it's the old guard. It's the old way. No, this is how it's done. It's not how it's done anymore.
Turning into a dictatorship? I think it's too late for that, Judy. Sorry. I think we're already a dictatorship.
Yeah, I think we're there too.
Well, let's talk about our sour lemon of the week. That's our nominees. Okay. So we have some nominees. I'll just tell you who they are quickly. Should we tell them who they are up front? Or do you think we should just sort of surprise people?
I think surprise people.
It's in the description. So.
Okay, it's in the description. Well, kind of, yeah. You see it in the picture. But anyways, let's talk about it. And if you guys have some honorable mentions, if you think there's someone we missed, let us know, and we will see if we can fix that for you. Okay. So let's talk about this. So Chuck Schumer is number one. Chuck Schumer announcing that he's going to vote for cloture. Here it is.
This week, Democrats offered a sensible way out. Fund the government for another month to give appropriators more time to do their jobs. Republicans rejected this proposal outright. Why did they reject it? Because Donald Trump doesn't want the appropriators to do their job. He wants full control over government spending. He isn't the first president who wants this, but he's the first president to cower his party into submission, so that Republican rejection leads us to a decision. That Republican rejection leads us to a decision. And it's not really a decision, it's a Hobson's choice.
Oh, God.
Either proceed with the bill before us or risk Donald Trump throwing America into the chaos of a shutdown.
Okay, stop. So, guys, give me the Schlossberg thing from this morning, because I just want to just stop that, but give it to me next. Judy, I'm going to take a little bit of time here because, sometimes we go way too long on a Friday, but I get a little loose because, I have a little.
Oh, Donald. I have a show, so I can't do that.
Oh, you're doing it tonight?
Yeah, 7:00, baby.
Okay. You want to hang out afterwards? Should we go to the cubbyhole?
I haven't been there in so.
I haven't. We walked in for 2 seconds the other day, so
you did.
Fun. Yeah,
How was it?
It was great. I think they were doing piano.
Oh, remember those days?
Karaoke or whatever you want to call it. Everybody was singing around the piano as they do at the Monster. You know the Monster.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay,
Don.
Yeah, I know, girl.
I'm an old guy.
Okay, so Chuck Schumer. Let's play a little bit more Chuck Schumer, and then I want to show you. I think Jack Schlossberg is kind of hit right on. Here it is.
In my view, is no choice at all. While the CR bill is very bad, the potential for a shutdown has consequences for America that are much, much worse.
Okay, stop. All right, so Jack. Here's Jack.
My message to Donald is this. If you want
to mess with the Democratic Party, you should continue doing so because we will cave in. At the end of the day, we don't mean anything that we're saying about authoritarianism or fascism. We're just upset. We're just very, very upset about irrational things. Let's work together. I can trust you, Donald, can't I? That's why I voted yes to work with the Republicans, because I understand them better than they do and better than you do. I've been here a long time, and let me tell you, it's my responsibility to understand what's going on, because a lot of you young people are confused. It's not your fault. I was young. I got excited too. Anyway, just follow me because I know exactly what I am doing.
I love him. I love him.
What do you think?
I think right on, 100%. Couldn't have said it better myself. I mean, watching him speak in front of that podium, and we're going to, it's like, no, have some emotion. Okay, sorry. I'm.
Well, I mean, Jack is basically saying they're like, I think Jack is like, maybe this dude's too old. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's not even that he's too old. It's
I always get in trouble for that, obviously, but I say his thinking is old. His ideas
beyond.
are old,
and he's
right?
like that whole idea that Jack's doing, like, I know more than you do. No, the world is different now, Chucky. It's way different. We're not playing the same game anymore.
Yeah, I agree. That's why I think there needs to be new folks. By the way,
100%.
Okay, we'll talk about that. But new folks, and there's new media right now, which is us, independent folks. And so you need to support us. So make sure you hit the thumbs up. You know, it affects the algorithm, the likes, and all of that. And more people get to see Judy. They get to see me. They become aware of our channel. Judy, it's very important to support independent media, isn't it?
Oh, 150%. I just interviewed Stephanie Ruhle. I said, I'm so afraid for journalists. I'm on the board of the National Coalition Against Censorship. I am a free speech advocate. I wrote this book. Yes, I can say that. It's all about free speech from the perspective of a comedian, which I'm plugging right now. But we are in a really horrible situation that we haven't seen since the 1930s in Germany. And this is right out of the playbook. They had passed, I don't know if you know, have you heard of Hitler? Okay, so he passed the Treachery Act in 1933.
Yeah,
and which made telling or listening to any anti-Nazi jokes a felony with which you would, if you were convicted of this, you would be imprisoned or death. Okay, for telling or listening to a joke. A year before the Treachery Act, they started banning books. Yeah, which is what we're doing now. Journalists, as you have noticed, I don't know if anyone listening, well, I'm sure they've noticed if they're following you, that so many journalists have retired, have moved on, have started their own platforms, because we are now almost at this state-sanctioned media. Like it is, do you know that, well, I'm sure you know, Donald Trump tried to have SNL investigated.
Yeah. I mean, look, Judy, I get it.
Yeah. I mean,
because look where I am now. Because when you fight back, or when you actually challenge people many times and do what you're supposed to do, that's frowned upon.
Sorry.
No, I will say that, my colleagues are great journalists. I'm not saying that, but they are in terrible positions right now, considering what the corporations and what in that corporate culture, they're in tough spots. They're in tough spots right now. So again, as I said, support independent media. Make sure you hit the like button,
100%.
subscribe. Yep, it's right below the Don Lemon logo, and also become a member. The memberships really help us out as well. So thank you very much for joining us. We're so glad that you're here. I'm here with Judy Gold, the talented and lovely and very funny and beautiful Judy Gold, and we're talking about the sour lemon of the week. Okay, Chris Hayes really, I think, kind of held Schumer's feet to the fire. Let's listen.
That there's essentially an unconstitutional assault on the government right now. And I think you would agree with that,
There
right?
is.
An assault on the
Absolutely.
constitutional
These guys are the worst, and we got to fight them every step of the way. As we say in Brooklyn, Chris, every step of the way.
But look, Russ Vought is already telling people, but he's telling people on the floor, we are not even going to listen to this CR. This is a piece of paper that we will impound and rip up the moment it's passed. If that's the case, how is voting for cloture not essentially an imprimatur on the very same assault on the constitutional order?
They're already, even without this CR, they're already doing it.
Right.
Okay? They did it to the Department of Education. But I can tell you, I've been through shutdowns before. It's not that this CR is good. It's not that voting for it is good. It's horrible. But the alternative is worse.
Don't undo the Constitution of the United States. You're not going to throw 83,000 workers off the Veterans Administration. You're not going to cut the Social Security staff so that elderly people will die while they're waiting to get the benefits that they paid into. You're not going to take food away from hungry kids. If you do nothing, you sit back and you say it is going to be terrible. And that's right. A shutdown will be terrible. But our job is to put the onus on the Republican president, the Republican House, the Republican Senate, the people who control the government. They are responsible. They've acted in an undemocratic, unprecedented, unilateral way. They've given us an offer, take it or leave it. That ain't the way democracy works.
What energy do you want? Do you want a Chuck Schumer or do you want a Bernie Sanders energy? Who do you think is right there? I think I might know.
I'm going to go with Bernard Sanders. Chuck, I mean, I guess Bernie and Chuck are around the same age, or Bernie's probably older than him.
Oh my God, I had the same dilemma. I think it was today. Yeah.
What?
Earlier today in my life. Like, who is older, who's been around the longest?
Right.
I think Chuck has been around maybe longer than Bernie, but who knows? I don't know.
They are of the same generation. One is a coward. Don, do you remember a few weeks ago when Chuck was going, "We will fight, we will fight" at that? Did you see that video?
I did.
Yeah. It was so embarrassing. And it just keeps getting worse. Where is the fury? I don't understand why these people are not enraged. You're talking about a government shutdown while someone is shutting down every department in the government. All these people have no jobs. Come on.
I think the Gestapo is coming to get you because you're.
Oh my God, I can't stand. I live right off of Amsterdam Avenue. I can close the window, but it's like, shut up.
Do we have the membership link in the top of the chat? I'm not sure. And our thumbs up, okay? Because I want people to join us. Oh my God, so you live right there because it just shut off. So, all right, Judy.
No, I just shut it off so that you wouldn't have to hear it.
Oh my goodness, that's okay.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah. Look, we're very real and very loose on this show. We're not. I shouldn't even say loose. We are just real, and people love it. Everything happens in the moment.
Am I allowed to curse on this show?
What the fuck are you talking about?
God, I can't fucking take it anymore, Don. I can't. It's so like I wake up. I just want to shake them and be like, stop being a wimp. It's like, it is so infuriating.
Okay. Also,
right,
the type of energy that we want. And you can look. I'm going a little slow on this one because I think I know who's going to be the sour lemon of the week, but we'll see. I think there are two folks who are up. Two people who are going to be in contention. I really do. Okay, so is this the energy we want? This is the AOC over on the Jake Tapper on the CNN. Here it is.
Would you? What do you think of the job that Chuck Schumer is doing? Would you ever challenge him? Do you think?
I think that what we need right now is a united Senate Democratic caucus that can stand up for this country and not vote for cloture and not vote for this bill. And I think that the strength that we have is in this moment. Reconciliation and all of these, Republicans do not need Democratic votes for that. They need it for this. And so the strength of our leadership in this moment is going to demonstrate the strength of our caucus. And I cannot urge enough how bad of an idea it is to empower and enable Donald Trump and Elon Musk in this moment. It is dangerous and it is reckless.
Well, you just.
And is she right?
She's 100% right. There's no unity. They are dividing us. They divide everyone. Look, I'm a Jew. I don't know if you know that because I tried to hide it. Yeah. And, our community is completely divided now because all of these people are like, oh my God, Trump is so good for the Jews and and we're going to just ignore everything he does because we like what he's doing for the Jews. No, you don't ignore everything else. And now they're divided. They just divide and conquer by using fear and wedge issues. And it's infuriating. She is right. I don't agree with her on, a lot of things, but she is 100% right.
Have you been watching me?
Why?
Because I've been saying the same thing and I went off. I've been going off, but I never thought I'd find myself in the position to be defending AOC, right? And nothing personal. It's just that there are a lot of her policies, or some of her policies I don't agree with. But the vitriol surrounding AOC to me is very suspicious, and it appears to be the same kind of person, because people have disagreements with politicians all the time, disagree on policies, but for some reason it's vitriolic and personal with her. And I think she's very bright. But again, I'm not going to agree with every politician. I didn't agree with everything Barack Obama did, or Joe Biden did, or George Bush, or
but you're not supposed to. You're not supposed to.
What is with the vitriol for her? Why do people just?
Don, she's a woman. She is Latin X. She is attractive. She is fearless in her own right, and I do not agree with a lot of her stuff. But she doesn't back down, and they don't get to her. You know what I mean? They don't, I'm sure they do get to her, but you don't see it. She sits there and is like, you can say whatever you want to me because I'm not backing down. But the rest of these Democrats, I mean, Gillibrand, what? Are you fucking kidding me?
Have I told you my Gillibrand story? Because I would always defend cancel culture. I'm like, no, it's not cancel culture, it's consequence culture. And then after, what's the senator? Al Franken. After Al Franken, I was like, okay, I'm done with this because this is cancel culture. It's so fucking ridiculous that you guys would get rid of. And Senator Gillibrand, it was such virtue signaling. I have a hard time voting for her.
Same.
I'm like, okay, wow, we're the same. Are you a Pisces?
No, I'm a Scorpio.
Wow.
But Al Franken, a great senator. He was amazing, and he was so articulate. And all right, as I mentioned, I'm a comic. Every one of us has pictures of us fooling around backstage with everyone. None of this was done when he was a senator, number one. And number two is, look what that fucker gets away with. Grabbing the pussy, shithole countries. He's getting seasoned journalists to have to curse on national television to quote him. He is a Pocahontas in the middle of a
fake State of the Union.
I mean, and Al Franken, there's some like stupid picture of him. This party, I don't know who they think they are, but they're not the Democrats that I grew up with.
Yeah. Okay. So Chuck Schumer, you guys have to vote once we put the poll up. Chuck Schumer is contestant number 1. Contestant number 2 is, are you guys ready for this? This is Hakeem Jeffries himself. That's his spokesperson. Hakeem Jeffries. It's him. A reporter asking him if it's time for new Senate leadership. Here it is. So careful. Watch his answer.
Is it time for new leadership in the Senate?
Next question.
Mr. Leader.
He didn't say no.
That's
he didn't say no. What do you think?
I think, you know, he said a lot by saying next question. That's what I think.
But he couldn't hold his caucus together, though, Judy. Come on,
No.
there was a Democrat who voted yes. So who is he? And also, I think that I like Hakeem Jeffries. I'm sure if he's seen this or heard whatever I said, he's not going to like me. I just think he's not the man for this moment.
Right.
No. In front, maybe behind the scenes. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like Chuck Schumer's maybe
not the
good.
messenger.
Yeah, he's not the messenger. Chuck Schumer may be good for strategy and behind the scenes, but not the messenger. Okay.
I agree 100%.
Did Chuck Schumer acquiesce to Trump? Here's Jeffries.
Has Senator Schumer, in your mind, acquiesced to Trump?
That's a question that is best addressed by the Senate. The vote hasn't taken place yet, and the House Democratic position is very clear. We strongly oppose any efforts to cut the health care of the American people, veterans benefits, and nutritional assistance, all of which are in the partisan Republican bill. We're going to continue to support Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, veterans benefits, and public schools, while Donald Trump and House Republicans try to take a chainsaw to these important priorities of the American people. We'll see what happens over in the Senate. There are still undecided and undeclared senators, and we anxiously await that vote.
So what do you think of him?
I've always liked him, but I agree with you. He's not the right messenger right now.
What do you think about this? Someone says, bring back Pelosi. By the way, Eartha, we love you. Pelosi. You probably just hit the wrong key, but what do you think of that? Eartha Nanton says, bring back Pelosi. I don't think she's, I think she was very effectual and really knew what she was doing, but that's funny. But she's also not the right messenger. And she's done. She did what she needed to do. She ripped up that speech. She really was a great Speaker of the House. But what they did to her husband and the shit that she has had to go through, she's done. She did her job. Now we have coward after coward. And just be truthful. Take a page from their book. They don't whine. They double down. Even when it's bullshit, lies, and conspiracy theories, they shove it down your throat. And we need someone who's going to shove it down our throat. Look, this is no good. A leader, someone strong. Yeah.
Not like whining and, it'd be really bad if you get what's bad is what's happening now. And getting really hard. No, it's not. It's already shit, you people. It's shit and getting shittier.
Do you agree with this?
Hakeem Jeffries needs some collard greens. I could use some collard greens and cornbread.
I think they're saying he needs to get a little bit more energy here.
I know what he needs. What is this? Look, I know that Barack was like, he didn't want to be an angry black man, and I think a lot of women also don't want to be seen as bitches. Let's get rid of this fucking shit. Be who you are. That fucker is 100% authentic. The way they attacked Zelensky, the way he sits there with his nasty face, Don, did you see the hostages in his office? They brought
today?
No, this was last week. They brought these hostages in the Oval Office, and they've been through hell. And
your mic is great right there where you are. Now, when you get closer, it's not good. But
all right, sorry. And they have been through absolute hell. And they're all standing there. Thank you, Mr. President. We wouldn't be here without you, Mr. President. Thank you. It was all about him. All about him. Someone needs to call this shit out.
You're talking about his cabinet, right?
No, I'm talking about these hostages that were in Gaza.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That-
I wasn't sure. I know the hostages were there. I get it. Okay.
Yeah,
But I thought
the,
you were
the
talking
fact
about.
was that press opportunity where he's showing the hostages was then one-upped with thank you, we wouldn't be here without you, thank you. It's all about him. Start calling this shit out.
Yeah.
Start, policy schmolicy.
I think by saying that Hakeem Jeffries needs some collard greens and cornbread, they're saying there needs footballs.
I know.
Basketballs.
We need Crockett. She's the best. Jasmine Crockett.
Oh, okay. Hey, listen, you have a show at 7, so I got to speed it up. Shit. Okay, let's go fast. I'm going to go fast. This is a former spokesperson for Hakeem Jeffries slamming Schumer. Here we go.
What does this mean for Chuck Schumer?
It's not good. I mean, look, the reality is that he has a caucus that wants to fight. You have a number of talented younger members like Murphy and others who really want to lead the party going forward. And so he has to show that, notwithstanding being in his mid-70s, he can lead the party in the Senate. What he's done this week has not shown that. In fact, he's done the opposite.
Wow, amazing. That's Hakeem Jeffries' spokesperson. Just remember that. So Hakeem Jeffries is contestant number 2. Contestant number 3, I think someone you're really going to love, and that's Alina Habba, who's the president's attorney when he was going up against, the legal system, and now that he's in the White House. This is her. First of all, I want to show her mocking AOC, since we've talked about AOC, saying AOC basically, this is a vitriol that I don't understand. Here it is.
I really don't see a path for them.
It's true.
I mean, Jasmine Crockett and AOC and the squad seem to be leading the intellectual thought of the Democratic Party.
What intellectual thought, Sean? The last I saw, they're dancing down the halls of Congress. I've never seen anything like this. I'm watching TikToks of crazy things. They're singing, they're dancing, they're holding beers.
Well,
and
you didn't see me, but I
never saw anything like this.
I was doing, quote, the intellectual side of the party. And I love when AOC lectures Elon Musk about not being intelligent. I'm like, oh, she's such a genius. I'm inspired by her every word.
You were in the bar. You were in a bar.
Yeah.
You were in a bar, AOC.
Well, that's
Calm
the only
down
thing
and
she
not
and
to
I
have
have
a
in
drink,
common.
to serve one.
Exactly. All right, Alina.
Amazing. You know what gets me? Is that they say the most vile, grossest shit every single day, every single night in conservative media, and they never get canceled, and people love it. Why can't the Democrats do that? Why can't just even moderates do that? Why can't independents do that?
Because they don't fight back. They think they're morally superior and ethically superior, and how dare we, Yeah. It's you've got to fight back. I'm trying to stay away from the
Well, let's go quickly. Because I want to
sorry.
So then what do you think of what she said? She's saying AOC is basically not smart, and whatever because she was a bartender. To me, that gives her street cred. But to them, it's some.
First of all, she was a bartender. She worked.
No, you said everything without saying anything.
What?
You said everything without saying anything.
She worked in a bar as a bartender when she was younger, but she's educated. She won that science award when she was in high school. Shut up. Look at you are a bunch of idiots who lie and lie and lie.
I think it's weird because wasn't Sean Hannity a roofer or something like that? You know what I'm saying? So anyway, and Alina Habba did do a great job for Donald Trump when he was in the fighting the criminal justice system because he got convicted. Okay,
right.
All right. So number 2 was is Alina Habba. One quick thing, you've heard of Andrew Tate, right? This is Alina Habba on Andrew Tate, then and now. Lying about it. Here she is. It shows her character.
Hey.
Hello, Alina.
Hi.
Hello.
Nice to meet you. I'm a big fan.
Well, nice to meet you. I'm a fan. You're the one saving Trump. You're doing more important work than
Nice
me.
to meet you.
The accusations against the Tate brothers are stomach churning. They are disturbing. And as I will say, and I've said many times since then, that is for the court to handle, and they should handle it.
Basically, people have told me you said you're a fan or something like that.
Yeah, that was what I said was it's a great manipulation. So the Tate brothers, have a tremendous social media presence in terms of, and what we were discussing were politics in the UK. He was talking about running, and
enough.
I am.
She said it was a great manipulation when it shows she actually said, "I am a big fan." She said that was a manipulation. What the fuck?
They've been doing this forever. They say something and then say, I didn't say it. And people believe it. Like, it's crazy. The fact that they can sleep at night, it is beyond me. It is beyond me. They have no ethics, no morals, no character, nothing.
Okay, so here we go. First three, let's put up the poll and then we'll move to the other one. Chuck Schumer, Hakeem Jeffries, Alina Habba. Vote, vote, vote. Okay? And then now let's go to the three. We're going to be quicker with this because I need to get her out of here. By the way, if you have not seen her show, My First Ex-Husband,
It's not my show. It's Joy's show, but I'm in it.
But you're in it. Before, I know we got to go quickly. But let me ask you this.
No, I love you.
Okay, so
wait, I need to sell tickets. I'm in DC on the 27th, 28th, 29th.
Oh, we're going to put links. Send us some links.
Oh, okay, good.
Tell us where we
and I'm going to Sellersville, Pennsylvania. I'm going on the road. Okay, I'll make sure she sends links.
But I wonder how you remember all those lines, because when I was younger, I could remember everything. I could remember everything. And then now I'm like, oh,
I know.
I can't remember like one sentence. I try to remember like someone says something in the chat, their name and what they said. And I'm like, who is that again?
I know. And it just flies out of your fucking head. It's awful.
How do you remember this shit?
I don't know. It's very musical to me, and I remember music. I don't know. I mean, sometimes I'll look at a cheat sheet. I never used to have to do that, but it gets in your body and Okay. But I can't remember anything else. I forget my keys. I'm like, where the fuck? Yesterday I forgot my AirPods.
This is my favorite when I'm doing like, oh yeah, mom, I'm like, I got to get to my Uber's here and I can't find my phone. And she's like, what are you talking on? I'm like,
you're on.
Oh,
I know, right?
All right. Here's contestant number 4. We'll go quickly. Contestant number 4 is this dude who says about what is it? Mahmoud Khalil this week. Here's Marco Rubio.
Come to the United States as a visitor, which is what a visa is, which is how this individual entered this country on a visitor's visa. Okay. You are here as a visitor. We can deny you that visa. We can deny you that if you tell us when you apply, hi, I'm trying to get into the United States on a student visa. I am a big supporter of Hamas, a murderous, barbaric group that kidnaps children, that rapes teenage girls, that takes hostages, that allows them to die in captivity, that returns more bodies than live hostages. If you tell us that you are in favor of a group like this, and if you tell us when you apply for your visa, and by the way, I intend to come to your country as a student, and rile up all kinds of anti-Jewish student, anti-Semitic activities. I intend to shut down your universities. If you told us all these things when you applied for a visa, we would deny your visa. I hope we would.
Okay. Here's the thing. There is no absolute proof or evidence that he has any connections to Hamas. Much of what he says, I don't agree with. I don't like at least, I don't know if he's anti-Semitic, but folks are saying that he is. I don't like anti-Semitism. I'm part of a Black Jewish Alliance. But I don't believe in throwing people out of the country or canceling them because they disagree with you. We have freedom of speech in this country. And so you say what you want to say because I'm going to say what I want to say. Am I wrong? And what do you think? Marco Rubio, should he be the sour lemon of the week?
I mean,
and am I wrong, by the way?
You're not wrong. And as a Jew who is like, would love to see these people shut the fuck up, I believe they have a right to say whatever the hell they want.
Yeah.
Do they have a right to make people feel unsafe? No. And students unsafe. And, we don't hear from the students. We hear from these politicians about what is going on, number one. And number two is, how many American citizens are fucking Nazis?
Yeah.
Okay. Seriously.
And what about January 6th? If they're saying because he was part of this group,
100%.
Yeah, he's supporting Hamas, and then they can, because of that, and without any actual evidence, because he's a part of a group, that wants companies to divest and the university to divest from Israel, that he is somehow affiliated with Hamas. So then, and he should be sent back. What about all the people who are January 6th at the Capitol? Even the people who didn't go in, should they be arrested? Should they be deported if they were there?
No, they should be pardoned.
Okay.
Don, they
There
should
we
be
go.
pardoned. Please, they're warriors. What are you talking about, Don?
Okay. All right. We're almost done. Gavin Newsom. This is the advertisement for his new show. He has a new podcast. This is Gavin Newsom episode. Oh my God. I think Chuck Schumer is a contender. Yeah. Okay. Here is Newsom not pushing back on stolen election lies. Here it is.
Future. Hey, Steve, I really enjoy this conversation. I think it's incredibly valuable, and I appreciate the spirit to which we were able to engage, and I hope we can continue the conversation, and I hope we get out of this week without any further disruptions. It's been a hell of a beginning of administration, and I appreciate your advocacy. I also appreciate that you call balls and strikes as it relates to what you're seeing with the administration.
I also think that for your audience, there's a saying that there are decades in which nothing happens and there are weeks in which decades happen. We're living in that time right now. So whatever happens this week, next week, it's going to be quite intense. We have an economy to turn around geostrategically. The beginning of the kinetic part of the Third World War has got to be stopped. So we're living history every day. And I'm just honored you had me on here, and we were able to conduct this in some level of decency.
I appreciate it, Steve. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Governor. Appreciate you.
Oh, I can't. I don't know what to do. I want to.
This is, and I know Gavin. I like him. I've been texting him. I'm like, what the fuck, Gavin? Like, what are you doing? I just want to again. Okay, this is Bannon saying, let them call you racist. Okay, here he is.
Answers to freedom. Let them call you racist.
Laissez-vous appeler raciste.
Let them call you xenophobes.
Mais laissez-vous appeler xénophobes.
Let them call you nativist.
Laissez-vous les appeler nativistes.
Wear it as a badge of honor, because every day we get
racist and nativist. This is him. Timmy, I don't know if you want to call it a Roman salute or what it is. Here he is.
We're not going to surrender. We're not going to quit. Fight, fight, fight.
What is Gavin doing?
Sucking Bannon's ass so Republicans will vote for him. They're
not going to vote for him,
Judy.
They ain't never going to vote for him.
To give them people like Steve Bannon a platform and to humanize him, and the guy, he's a fucking traitor. Who are you? Have some fucking boundaries. You elevate the voices of people who are doing good, not for this fucking asshole. Horrible person.
Okay. So then he had on, the first one was Charlie Kirk. That was his first guest. And last week he had that on. And then Michael Savage was his guest this week. So this is Michael Savage talking about homosexuality.
Nation.
Well, you make a really good point, Michael, and you have a great show, but I still think that you're not wise in being so adamant about these gay marriages. What difference does it make what they do? You're going to work yourself into a big heart attack like Tim Ruskert.
No, I won't work myself into a big heart attack. I'll tell you why. Because the truth will set me free. It always has.
But
aren't you tired of the propaganda that every newspaper you pick up today shows old, ugly women getting married?
Well, as a matter of fact, yes, I think that's a private thing. But I also
why do you suppose every newspaper in America is showing this story?
They have an agenda, of course, but still.
Well, I have an obligation as a social commentator to say enough is enough. I've had enough of it. Just as I had enough of the Tim Russert worship on Friday. I had enough of it. I had enough of Obama a year ago, who looks like Alfred E. Newman to me.
it's a joke. Whether you're gay or straight, it's mostly a joke. But the thing is, we don't want you to get all
It's not a joke when you steal an institution as fragile as marriage and you pervert it with a mockery. It's not a joke.
How many
It's not a joke when you pervert it.
Okay, so that's that. Quickly, this is him on Obama. I know you got to go. This is him on Obama.
No, it's fine. I'm
Coming out like shock of all shocks for what's his name? For BO. Do you think Colin Powell came out for BO because of his race? Duh. You know, I thought about this. It was embarrassing for me to watch Colin Powell lie about Obama. And I thought this, and forgive me for being so blunt. But it seems to Michael Savage that the only people who don't seem to vote based on race are white people of European origin. That's an interesting observation.
Okay,
the
so
only people who don't.
That's enough. Okay, so and this is who Gavin Newsom has on. By the way, we have a very special guest joining us right now. Someone who Judy knows very well, and actually I think interviewed earlier. Pop her on. Hello. Hi, Steph Ruhle.
Hey! I love her. She's the best. You got to listen to our podcast. She's fucking hilarious. Best storyteller ever.
Steph,
oh my gosh,
welcome.
I'm so glad I dialed in.
Steph, let me tell you, I sent a text. I was like, hey Siri, they're going to do it. Hey Siri, text Steph Ruhle. I've been thinking about you. Did I ever send you that text? I've been thinking about you. You popped into my head and I just wanted to see if you're okay. How are you? It never went through, I'm sure. Did I text you? Okay.
You did not, but I'm great.
Oh my God. See, now look, it's good on your phone. My phone just did it. So Steph, we're doing a sour lemon of the week. I'm having a little cocktail.
I hear it. I mean, that was some treat that Gavin Newsom interviewed. He's digging deep.
What is going? Why
divorced, by the way? Michael Savage, all of them who are for the sanctity of marriage are divorced. Go.
What I don't understand with all of these people, why do they mind anyone else's business? Why do they have an opinion on who to love, how to love, what marriage should look like? It's amazing to me how they obsess over other people's marriage and relationships. Who cares?
Who cares? This is for me. Maybe you feel differently because I respect other people's opinion. I love, as you know, and as you do, talking to people, conversing with them, interacting with people who have different opinions than I do, right?
Love it. Love it.
That's how you get smarter.
If I'm going to have them on a platform where people are going to be watching, but I'm going to challenge them on some things that I may disagree with, and I may, I'm just not going to platform them. What do you think of this, Gavin? Because it's been a big deal, this Gavin pivot.
So listen, I absolutely love the idea of it. I love the idea of it because nothing drives me crazier than on my own network. This week I interviewed John Fetterman and people are like, why are you platforming John Fetterman? Why am I platforming John Fetterman? Like we should absolutely sit down with people. And John Fetterman and I don't have a different opinion, but forget me. We should always have people with all different opinions and expertise on with us. To Judy's point, it's how you get smarter. However, you have to have a baseline of respect for one another. And while you can have different opinions, you have to agree on some basic truths. And while I did not listen to Gavin Newsom's interview with Steve Bannon, I've seen clips of it that he didn't challenge him on what is one of the most basic things with who won the election fair and square in the 2020 election. So there are some things that you have to agree on Don, you disagree.
No. I want to jump in. You finish. I'm just telling you, I want to say something.
And so I just think you have to come from a place of here's a baseline of facts. And then from there, let's disagree. Let's have different opinions. Let's grow and stretch. But I also think for people who are so unbelievably precious that they don't want to hear from someone with another side, well, then the hole that they live in is only going to get smaller and smaller.
Okay. This is what I say about this stuff.
Tell
I
us.
agree with you. Especially on sort of your run-of-the-mill Republican and a John Fetterman. But when you have someone on like a Charlie Kirk, who's an avowed racist, bigot, homophobe, sexist, or whatever, who revels in it. The same thing with Steve Bannon. He just said, let him call you this, let him call, and then he did the salute. And then Michael Savage, who is, again, all of these things. That is a sort of different level of disagreeing than a Fetterman.
Yeah, because what you're also talking about, Don, are people who say things for the sake of it, provocateurs,
or
and
who are just fucking bigots.
Yeah, that, or they're just saying things to be fire starters. And that's sort of what kills me. And this reminder of like a provocateur can only exist if you allow him to provoke you. And so I think unless you're dealing with people who have a baseline of respect and decency, then there's no reason to swim in the water because nobody's going to advance.
There you go.
Judy,
well,
what do you think?
I agree, but giving Steve Bannon, liar, conspiracy theorist, convicted felon, a platform is awful. I don't agree with Liz Cheney on anything, but I would talk to her because I think she has integrity.
That's what I tell run-of-the-mill Republican, right? You're old
She's
school.
not run-of-the-mill. She's like,
I meant old school Republican. Yeah.
And also, as on the LGBTQ thing, all these fuckers should be outed, okay? Because you know what? You can't go around voting against my rights and my equality and stay in the fucking closet. How's that?
Oh, who are you
that,
talking
Lindsay?
About? I'm gonna send you a telegram.
I know not which you speak of, Judy.
No, I know. No, yeah.
Yeah.
I just think in general, the obsession that folks have over other people's sexuality and lives and choices
and genitals,
it is so crazy to me. I just think everyone should mind their own business.
Hey, Steph Ruhle, can I ask you something?
Yeah, Tim Scott.
Can I ask you something?
Oh, there's more where that came from. One was sitting behind, well, two of them were sitting behind the president at that speech.
Oh,
okay.
Wait. Who am I missing? Oh, okay. Got it. I got it. Steph Ruhle, let me ask you.
Steph's going to be like, I'm sorry, we can't have you on our show anymore. Okay, go ahead.
Steph, I love you. I love being on Steph's show, by the way, because I get a reprieve.
It's the best.
This is how I get a reprieve when she says,
a good time.
I'm going to promote your book. And then they're like, yeah, go on. Because, I've got certain constraints because I'm still under contract with the CNN. You know what I'm saying? So listen, Steph Ruhle, you're in traditional media right now, and we love what you do. But we want you to say something. I want to know what you think about independent media, if you have a take on independent media and what
I think it's great. Listen, I think one of the best things about independent media, how extraordinary that the game has changed, that individuals with something to say of substance can have a platform and truly rise up. If you think 10, even 5, maybe not 5 years ago, but it used to be that when you thought about sort of like the institutions, whether it's like media, music, they were impenetrable. Somebody wanted to get into TV, they wanted to get into radio, intern for $0 and 0 cents for 6 years, and then deliver coffee, and then do this, and then do that. Now, people who have something to say of substance can pitch their own tent, can put it out there, and if it works, it works. And you don't need to have a giant platform and a network behind you. If you are doing something that matters, the eyeballs and the ears will find you, and I think that's extraordinary.
You know what, Steph? That's how all these comedians now are getting famous and getting a platform by doing it themselves. By not waiting for a network to give them, and they're creating it all themselves. I have to go do a show.
I know. Okay. All right. Real quickly. So I'll do the last one without you, but thank you.
No, I want to vote.
Okay. The last one is Wendy Williams' Guardian, and you guys know what's going on with Wendy Williams. All right.
So she's the best. I love her.
I'll play it when you leave. But Steph, I got to ask you before I let you go because I think it's important. We're dealing with with a lot of crazy economic things, the stock market. That is your expertise. That's what you did.
Yes.
You worked in finance for a while, right? For a long time.
15 years of my life. Yes.
Go listen to our podcast. It's all about Steph's life. It's so great.
If you can wait for Steph to finish, fine. If you can't, then go. Steph, what the fuck is going on? Are we going to be okay?
Listen, we don't know. Right now, all of this is about absolute uncertainty. The extraordinary thing is we elected a very pro-business president in that if you ran a business big or small, you knew that the president was going to look to absolutely deregulate. So you'd have as least amount of rules as possible. His number one goal is to cut taxes. yet somehow he has managed to strangle the life out of business because people don't know whether to look right or left. The funniest thing is, suddenly you've got people longing for the days of Steve Mnuchin and Jared Kushner who had guardrails around the president. Now, in the first term, you really felt like Donald Trump, almost to a fault, was focused on, obsessed over the stock market. That's not the case right now. And it's amazing to me that what they're saying is, listen, we may have some short-term pain for long-term gain. I'll just make this one point. Yes, we should all feel for the fact that because of globalization, the United States lost millions of manufacturing jobs over the last 50 years. It's hollowed out portions of the country. It has led to so much discontent and unhappiness, and why it's been fair when we could all say the economy had a great recovery, why lots of people in the country are going, well, not for me, because it hadn't. But this idea that Donald Trump is going to slap these tariffs on all these individual countries, our allies, not China, our allies, and that's going to result in the short term, suddenly we're going to have a resurgence, a boom of old school manufacturing. That's simply not going to happen in the near or potentially long term. And someone has to be intellectually honest about this. And the people who are speaking on his behalf right now aren't. And that's got the markets for the time being just scared.
Yeah. Steph Ruhle.
She's brilliant. She is brilliant.
11 p.m. Eastern on the MSNBC. It is a freaking fantastic, smart show. Doesn't insult your intelligence, and you will learn a lot. Steph, thank you.
Smarter.
I hope you both come back soon. See ya. Bye.
Love you. Bye. Judy Gold. Okay, Judy, we'll be
I have to
watching
leave, but can I do my
ex-husband? Yeah, tell us where to find you. All that stuff.
Oh, JudyGold.com. I'm at Judy Gold on Instagram and everything at Judy Gold, JEWDYGOLD, because I'm a Jew. And my
JEWY,
DY, Judy.
JEWDY. Okay.
Gold. Anyway, okay. So follow me. Please come to my shows. And also, I'm going to go with Chuck Schumer because I can't even fucking look at him. Okay.
Over Gavin. Okay. Well,
Gavin is really, but Chuck has a wider, it's because it's bigger.
Okay. Judy, love you.
I love you, Don. You're the best, and I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. I'm proud of you, and I love you too. Have a great show tonight. Now, see.
Thank you.
No, I'm sorry. Break a leg.
Thank
And
you.
the other thing is, I'm going to text you. We'll see. We may go to the cubby hole. We'll see.
All
Bye.
right.
Bye. Mwah. Okay, so listen, contestant number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, Wendy Williams' guardian. This is Wendy Williams and her niece talking about what happened. So look, you guys know what happened. Wendy Williams in a conservatorship or guardianship. Something weird happened at the place that she was. The ambulance showed up, took her away. She had a cognitive test. She is fighting this guardianship. And then her niece came to town from Florida, took her to dinner, and then this is what happened. But this is Wendy and her niece out on the town.
My niece Alex.
Okay. How do you feel about the Free Wendy movement?
Fabulous.
Fabulous.
So our recent events have been unbelievable. Talk about. We came back from dinner, and apparently police were called. But I was told that at some point, police were called because the coterie here was saying allegedly that I took my aunt from this facility and whisked her away without any sort of confirmation or approval. Which, according to everything that we have learned in terms of this whole situation, wondering exactly how that correlates with the statements that the guardian has made that Wendy is able to come and go as she pleases, Right. and that there are no family visits that are blocked.
Clearly, they are lying to me when they say I can go out and do what I want to do. This is my niece Alex. She just flew in from Miami, okay? I just came from the hospital. So we are going out to celebrate. You know what I'm saying? Celebrate what? I don't know. I'm from the hospital. You know what I'm saying? And of life. Right. And this is what has been done to us.
Okay, so there we go. That's Wendy and her niece out on the town. Do we have Wendy with us or no? Do we get Wendy speaking to us?
No, we don't have that.
What? That was like first before everything. Like Wendy actually called in and spoke to us. How can we be so derelict in our duties? She also called into The View. Here it is.
Was my choice to get an independent evaluation on my incapacitation, which I don't have it.
You sound okay to me.
How dare they say I have incapacitation?
Yes.
I do not.
Okay.
These two people don't look like me. They don't dress like me. They don't talk like me. They don't act like me. And I venture to say they will never be me. I need them to, with my knees, get off my neck.
Yeah.
Well, Gina, Lisa, I want to bring. Oh, go ahead, Wendy.
I can't do it with these two people again. I can't. And I'm speaking of the guardian.
And the guardians.
And the judge. I need a new guardian. And by the way, it's because I need a new guardian, and then I'll get out a guardian. I don't want a guardian. You know what I'm saying? I don't put it this way. I don't want Sabrina, period. You know what I'm saying?
We got it.
I don't want guardian.
She also called in.
I want to get out of guardian.
Okay, can we stop it? She also called into us when we spoke, and I spoke to Wendy. I've spoken to her a bunch of times. But anyways, you guys know the story. And so you're not supposed to look me in the face. You know that I taught you that. So anyway, and then there's Wendy standing at the window, like she felt like she was in jail. And by the way, when I spoke to her, she was in such great spirits. In the View interview, well, not great as great as spirits, but when I spoke to her, she was in the hospital, and she was so happy and so lovely because she was out of that room. Now, I will tell you, dealing with someone who has had a stroke in their lives and they have aphasia, it doesn't mean that they are incapacitated because they can't find the right words or they say the same thing. I'm learning so much having dealt with that. It doesn't mean that they're incapacitated because they have, like Wendy says a lot, okay? She will say, you know what I'm saying, a lot. That can happen if you have some sort of trauma, but that doesn't mean that you are incapacitated because of something that happened to you. You had a brain injury of some sort, or something that impacted you mentally or physically. It doesn't mean that you're incapacitated. It just means that sometimes things don't connect, and you glom onto, so to speak, phrases that you understand and little returns in speech. You like some people like people say like all the time. It's no different. So if you're having someone that has issues and they say, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's like you saying like all the time. Or, what am I saying? It's kind of the same sort of thing. It doesn't connect as fast as it once did. So that's all I'm saying. And I think that, see, I just said, okay, so a little bit of Wendy when we call, just to show you how happy she was. Here it is. Williams. Wendy, how you doing?
Oh my gosh, first of all, happy birthday. And let me tell you something, birthday man. You just told me to get on with you on TV, on whatever this is. Yeah. But you just told me a minute before I was supposed to be on.
I know. You called right before, and I said, well, hang on, Wendy, we're going to go on live. Wendy, let me just tell.
I had no idea. Like, you could have told me this last night, so when I wake up, I am ready. Like, wow.
Wendy. Do you remember calling me on Sunday and we got disconnected because the doorman and the food delivery guy disconnected us, and I tried to get you back? I'm sorry. No. But okay, so there we go. Here's the thing. So then that's our number 6. Okay, let's put up the poll. It is Marco Rubio, Gavin Newsom, or Wendy's guardian. Who won the first poll, guys?
Chuck Schumer.
Chuck, what do you guys know what the score was, what the ratio was, like what it was? What was it?
Give me a second, but I know he won by approximately, I think he got about 80%.
So it was a landslide. Where's my
Correct.
pen? I can't find my pen. Okay, so it's Chuck Schumer who won by a landslide. I'm looking for my pen. It's Friday. We're a little bit loose on Friday. I don't know where my pen is. So Chuck Schumer. So the next 3 are Marco Rubio, Gavin Newsom, and Wendy Williams, guardian. So guys, that is the vote up on the polls. And so as you are voting, let me just shout a couple of people out. Let me just say, Simi, you know Simi. I have so much love for you, and you know why. Because of Simi's generosity, 20 people get to become members of Elimination. Belinda Johnson, welcome to the Elimination. In the end, it will come full circle. They will reap what they sow. Thank you for that, Belinda. Thank you very much. Thank you for your hard work. Love you, says Baby, Pitt, and me. Thank you for your very generous support. By the way, hit the thumbs up, hit the like. Make sure you like and subscribe to us and also become a member. It is important. You heard what Stephanie Ruhle said about independent media and also what Judy Gold said about independent media as well. Okay? So let's shout out a couple more people. Brooke McLyman, welcome to the Elimination. Des Gopal, welcome to the Elimination. Trish SF, welcome to the Elimination. Levette Martin. Barkley, I'm going to feed you in a second. Welcome to the Elimination. Erica Williams, welcome to the Elimination. Rising Resilience, welcome to the Elimination. I'm so glad that all of you are new members. Ms. Maxey, welcome to the Elimination. Again, thank you for your generous support of independent media. You guys, please subscribe, become members, like. It affects the algorithm. We really appreciate it. Okay, so let me go over to the YouTube poll. I'm going to get on my YouTube because I'm watching it live. Let's see what happened here. So we've got... Barkley, stop. Okay. All right. All right. I'm going to feed you. All right. So here we go. We got Marco Rubio. We have Gavin Newsom, and we have Wendy Williams, Guardian. Are you guys ready to tell me who you like? Quiet. Get down. Get down. Let's see. I'm going to vote. I'm going to go in my other thing, and I'm going to vote. Oh, it's close. You guys think we're ready? Okay, producers, you want to hop in? Okay, so you guys think we're ready for this? Barkley, I'm going to feed you.
Yeah, I can do the final round.
Okay, so what's the final round?
It's going to be, or I'll have it be a surprise. Give me 1 minute to put it up.
I know who it is. Soul Lady Carter, thank you for your support of independent media. Let's see who else. Soul Lady Carter. Also, Monique Delaney. How do I gift memberships? Nikki, can you come on and tell them how you can gift memberships? I think you just go on the membership thing, right?
You should see a little $sign there, and you can click on that, and it will allow you to gift memberships. Unfortunately, I know everyone's asked for this. YouTube does not have a way for you to target those gifts. So they're going to randomly be sent out.
Yeah, so just be generous.
But
to other members.
Yes, it's still generous, and we still love it.
Yeah.
So Don, you mentioned earlier that there might be some honorable mentions for the Sour.
Yeah, hold on 1 second. Okay,
Okay.
Chantel's VP gifted 20 memberships because of Chantel's generosity. 20 people get to become members of the Elimination. Sorry, Peter. Go on.
Oh, no worries. I was just going to ask, in addition to our current finalists, is there anyone that you would like to throw up as an honorable mention?
God, I'm sorry. I've had a margarita just now. I'm trying to figure out who. I said someone before. Oh, I also said Homan because they detained another student who protested against the war and what was happening in Israel and Gaza. I think that's one. Who else didn't I mention somebody else, guys? I said ICE, so I meant ICE. Who else did I mention? Do you guys remember? I don't remember.
I remember ICE.
I remember ICE.
I won't say, but
if you have any ideas, throw them up quickly, and then I'll put up the final poll.
I just have to say, you can put up your final poll, but I am really, I don't know if I want to say disappointed. I'm pissed. I'm disappointed in Gavin Newsom. And I think Gavin Newsom still has a chance to redeem himself, but he has to pivot. And it's not, everyone says, well, love the idea, but you're not doing it right. And it's not because people are lefty liberals and too, holier than thou and it's virtue signaling. It's because people realize who these people are you're interviewing. And a lot of them, quite honestly, are scums of the fucking earth. And you cannot invite someone on who's a scum of the earth and say, so yeah, hey, I can get you a reservation at French Laundry, or not call them on their shit. You have to invite them on, and you have to be honest, because those people are saying exactly what they want to say on your platform, right? They are giving you the talking points they put out, but they're not showing you behind the scenes just how fucked up they are. And we have to show you the clips to remind you just how terrible they are. I'm just telling you, okay? So here we go. The poll is, I guess, Gavin Newsom won, right? Is that what it is? What was it? What was the second?
Quite the opposite, actually.
No, I mean on the second part, right? The sour lemon of the week.
Yes. The second poll was Gavin Newsom, and the first poll was Chuck Schumer.
What did Gavin win by?
I believe
it was a little tighter.
45%.
What was it?
45%.
Let's give me the number. He had 45%.
Yes, and if I remember correctly, Marco Rubio was second with 28.
Okay, and then the Wendy Williams Guardian was what?
In the mid-teens, I believe. Not close.
Yeah. Okay. So I just voted myself. I won't tell you who, but I'm not surprised. I'm not saying I agreed with whoever you voted for. Wow. Guess what? I have not eaten all day. Do you guys know that? Let's talk about it after we do the votes. Okay. So who is the sour lemon of the week? And should we, the winner is, should we tell him? The winner is Mr. Charles Chuck Schumer of New York. And I cannot say that I disagree with that. Even though I am extremely disappointed in Gavin Newsom, I think obviously the much more impactful thing is Chuck Schumer. Now, let me say, Chuck Schumer knows all this stuff, and maybe he's right about the government not shutting down. But Chuck Schumer, Peter, let's talk about this, because Chuck Schumer at least should have signaled to the American people, to the Democrats, to his caucus, that, hey, we don't have a lot of options here, instead of saying we're going to fight and we're going to win.
Yeah. This may be an unpopular opinion to voice for the Lemon Nation, but I think Schumer was actually right on the theory. And what I mean by that...
Get out. No, I'm kidding.
What I mean by that is, if Democrats did not vote for cloture and did not ultimately fund the government, and Chuck Schumer and a lot of political analysts did not see a rational path for the House or for the government rather, to actually reopen. And what I mean by that is, you got to think about the asymmetry between the parties. Republicans actually like when the government is shut down. They don't want the government to function. Democrats do. And so if Democrats allow the government to shut down, I think realistically what would have happened is that a few weeks down the road, maybe a couple months down the road, the pain would be so great that Democrats would then need to return to the negotiating table, and they would then need to sign on to an even more egregious funding bill that would put them and the country in an even more weaker position. Chuck Schumer's mistake is he shouldn't have allowed all of this energy to build up and then, explode today when finally the cat's out of the bag and Democrats are going to vote along with the Republicans. He should have made it very clear 2 weeks ago that this was the best path forward. And so he screwed himself. He screwed the party. And I would frankly not be shocked if he ultimately loses Dem leadership, his minority leadership position over this.
Okay, Peter. We're going to fight and we're going to disagree the way you and I disagreed about Joe Biden pardoning his family and pardoning Hunter Biden. Remember, you were like, I can't believe he did it. And I'm like, of course he's going to do it. And I'm like, I'm all for it. So I believe, after talking to people, when I talk to people, no one wants the government to shut down. People don't want the government to shut down. But I think people are at a point now where they don't give an actual fuck. And they actually do. They said, look, in a perfect world, I would not like the government to shut down. But I think the government should shut down and Democrats should be stronger, because otherwise the bigger picture is that we don't have a democracy, we don't have a republic, and someone has to show some balls. Someone has to say enough is enough. And so if by shutting the government down, people get this is a tough love, if they get it that way, then fine, because they say on the other side, number one, the government is already shut down when you look at how many people who are losing their jobs, and No one is paying attention to federal judges. No one is paying attention to tradition. No one is paying attention to the rules that should be in place. No one is paying attention to the Constitution. So if no one is paying attention to the Constitution, then why do you have to abide by the Constitution? And why do you have to abide by the rules that have been in place forever that no one else is following? And the people who are stealing your democracy aren't following it anyways. And so people are going to be hurt because they're already losing their Medicare. They're already losing their Medicaid. So
I totally hear you.
So let's stand up, and if the country fucking shuts down, let's go for it. That is for me the Malcolm X energy that I'm taking into 2025. Okay, let's go into a government shutdown and see what happens, and see what the Republicans, you keep blaming, what the Republicans did. Because there are all these things that is so much more egregious, so much bigger than Democrats saying we're taking a stand. This is where we take a stand, and we're tired of our government, the tyranny that's going on, and our government being an autocracy, our country, an autocracy with an autocrat or a dictator in charge. I said what I said. Make sure you hit the thumbs up if you agree. If you agree with me, hit the thumbs up. If you don't agree with me, hit the thumbs up. Go ahead.
No, Don, I agree with you. I agree with you on the energy point. I agree with you on the fact that Democrats are utterly feckless at this moment. I'll just repeat what I said at the top, which is there is no offer. If the Democrats did not save the Republicans, because that's what they did, let's be honest. But if the Democrats did not save the Republicans, there is no off-ramp. There is no way to reopen the government without an even more egregious, an even more draconian, even more, some might say, satanic funding bill that absolutely strips, the federal bureaucracy.
Peter, but listen, they're going to do it anyway. What makes you think that they have no guardrails right now? They're going to do it anyway. But the next thing, why? Just pull the Band-Aid off. Just do it, because they're going to continue to go on, and we're just going to be in this trauma forever. And this tariff, no tariff. Is he going to listen to the judiciary? No. Is he going to listen to the legislature? No. So why not just pull the Band-Aid off and let's fucking go for it right now? This is a street fight. Let's fight. And
I agree with you.
Don, right now. You know what I'm saying?
What's the expression I say all the time? Democrats need to stop bringing a butter knife to a bazooka fight. And so you and I fundamentally agree on that. I think what's the expression? We agree on our strategy. We just slightly disagree on the tactics. How do we best carry out that broader strategy? And for me, I think right now, when Trump and the Republicans are actively tanking the economy, when we are on our way to a recession, where day after day, the Dow Jones is losing 300, 400, 500, 900 points. Why do we want the headlines to no longer be Trump tanking the economy? And why do we want it to be the government shuts down? And inevitably, 50% of the press outlets in the country are going to say Democrats shut it down. That's my thought.
If you had a better messaging strategy, if you were a messaging guru, you can get both of those messages out at the same. One doesn't preclude the other. It's not a binary choice. You can say the economy is terrible. It was terrible before we shut it down. And then you can say, then he made it worse by shutting it down. Then the Republicans actually made it worse. They don't care about you. This shows that they do not care about you, because if they did, then they would believe in the Constitution and the levers of government. And this shows you that they do not. And they will do anything to get their way and to be in an autocracy and a dictatorship. By the way, my husband just brought me some pretzels with peanut butter in them, because I have not, seriously, I haven't put anything in my mouth today except for water. That's it. And coffee.
I hear you, Don. And I think you would be right if the Democrats actually had competent messengers. Because what do we talk about this show all the time? The Democrats have what? 5 people? Maybe? Who can speak truth to power? They've got Chris Murphy. They've got AOC. They've got Jasmine Crockett. They've got Eric Swalwell. Who else? Who can actually sell that message? I am 100% with you in the world in which the Democrats were actually capable of selling a message, but instead we have Chuck Schumer, who is, as we've said all hour, feckless and incompetent.
By the way, Peter, you're not going to like this.
Oh, no.
I forget. I had my cursor over it, but it's gone past MME or something. I forget what it is. We have an honorable mention for Sour Lemon of the Week. And
Is it me?
It's you, bro. It's you.
I'm honored.
It's you. I'm with you. Look, for me, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I sound like Wendy, right? Here's what I'm saying. It's time to take your earrings off and put some Vaseline on. And what it is, what it is. So let's go for this. You want to shut the country down, Republicans? Then shut the country down. We're going at it. You want to do that? We're going at it. And guess what? On the behind the scenes, we're going to be working with the Canadians. We're going to work with the Mexican government. We're going to work with the Chinese. We're going to do everything we can because we want to stop you. That's it. And we may lose, but we don't care if we're going to lose. So shut the government down. And the American people at the end of the day will realize that the government was shut down because of you and not for us. The Republicans and the MAGA people are never, ever, 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 ever. Some of them will, if you've seen the town halls. They, for the most part, they're never going to believe that it was Democrats. Okay, fine. Those people, you have a certain segment, certain number of people who are lost. You're not going to get them back. But the other folks, you have some folks in the middle, some people who don't like Donald Trump. They're going to love your fight back. They're going to love your fight. And for the most part, I'm telling you, I'm out there on the streets. The majority of Democrats right now, the majority of the people who voted for Kamala Harris, they want you to fight back. And guess what? I'm not saying that it should. I'm just telling you what they're saying. They want you not to vote, and they want the government to shut down to teach Donald Trump a lesson. And they are willing to sacrifice whatever it means with that decision. The Democrats are selling a product that no one wants. That product is one of acquiescence. That product is one of bending the knee. That product is one of decorum. That product is one of tradition. That product is one of tradition, meaning acting the way that you did 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 8 years ago, 12 years ago. And we are not there. So let the fucking country shut down and let's go at this MMA style. We're in the cage, in the ring. Let's see who comes out the victor. I believe that's where the American people are. Okay? That's it. That's all I'm saying. Delicious, I'm through. I'm taking this mic and I'm dropping it. All of a sudden, the Sour Lemon of the Week write-in is quiet.
Hey, now, I'm not quiet. I just wanted to give you your time. I cannot disagree with your energy. Look, I have been on Twitter all day long trying to find stuff.
Twitter's not the real world, though. Twitter is by definition, don't you think, to the right, like skewed very heavily to the right.
Well, funnily enough, then, everyone on Twitter wants Chuck Schumer to either resign or, frankly, have far worse things happen to him.
Then that should be an indication of where we are to you. If you go on Twitter, do you think Twitter is skewed?
Oh, of course. Absolutely.
Okay.
But also, Don, to evoke you for a second, why are folks fleeing to Blue Sky? You are the king of going into the lion's den. You say this all the time. You are the champion of staying true to your values and facing off with folks who disagree with you, so long as they do so in good faith, so long as they're not hateful. That's what you should do. And I think for that reason, we need to stay on Twitter.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, if you are on a place that you believe is that skews to the right, and you can say that because remember the whole reason they wanted me to come on is because it was too skewed to the right, and they wanted someone who was centrist or left. All right. And so,
Don, you'll like this. Norman Sowards just said Peter is a DEI hire.
So what I'm saying to you is, if you're on a place that skews to the right, and you are getting most of the people saying Chuck fight back or bye, then all I'm saying is, I'm not saying it's going to be bad for the country. I agree. Chuck Schumer knows better. Probably, he's been around. He knows what's going to be good and what's going to be bad. But the sentiment out there is to fight back and F it, shut the country down. That is what they're saying. And Chuck Schumer, you must go. Again, listen to what I'm saying. They are selling a product that they don't want, whether it's right or wrong. It is not right on the MAGA side, when you think about it, to vote for someone who says they want to grab women by the pussy. It is not right to vote for someone who calls NBA players or athletes sons of bitches. It is not right to say that Mexicans are rapists. It is not right to have all the charges against you and be found guilty and become president. It is not right to be found in a civil courtroom liable sexual. None of that is right. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I totally do.
If you
And
are
I totally
operating
agree.
in a world where the decency is not right, then you need to get down with them and get into the ring and fight and show the American people this shit is fucked up and we're not going to stand for it anymore. Okay?
I completely agree. I'm with you 100%. But the only question I have is, if we shut the government down, there is no way to reopen it. There is no way to continue to fund cancer research. There's no way to
they're not funding cancer research now, Peter. By the way,
not.
Grace
You're right.
Reimers,
Don, that's not entirely true. They're cutting back on it. But if we
Grace
were to shut the
Reimers
government
agreeing
down,
with you.
it completely
Grace Reimers,
stops.
Grace Reimers says, "I'm with Peter." Sorry to cut you off. Go ahead, Peter.
Oh, well, thank you, Grace. But I think what needs to be reminded, because I feel the urge to fight. I want to be taken to the streets right now. I want to be protesting. I literally wrote an article about #DarkWoke and how Democrats need to be communicating in the same way the Republicans do. They need to be as nasty. They need to be as fucking mean. However, you got to look at this objectively. If you shut the government down, the only way for it to ever reopen is for Democrats to then crawl over broken glass back to the negotiating table and concede to even more dystopian, horrific, sociopathic, one might say satanic concessions that makes it even worse for the American people.
Let me pose something to you. So
Go
what?
for it.
So what? What does that even mean?
What does it mean? I mean, do you think that this CR is good? I think it's pretty goddamn awful. I'd say, like, on a scale of -1 to -10, it's a, say, -7. And I think it means that crawling back to the table would mean Democrats would need to agree to a -9.
But if they crawl back to the table, what are they crawling back for? He's not listening to them. Congress is essentially neutered right now. They can just all go home because he is never, ever, ever going to listen to them for anything. So what does that mean? If you in 3 months or a month or whatever, a year, there are going to be no concessions. This is what Putin and Zelensky is like. Putin is never going to give concessions.
Mm-hmm.
And Zelensky is saying, please help us fight. We are the underdogs right now.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be in the fight with us. We need the big guns, the big pew-pews in the fight with us. This is Russia and Ukraine. And you know who Russia is. That's the Republicans. Ukraine's the Democrats. That's all I'm saying. Go ahead. I want to hear.
A lot of folks in the chat saying that you should fire me, Don.
I'm not firing you, but go on. I gotta go get some water. Go on. What do you say? Why do you disagree with that?
I think I agree with you 100% fundamentally that right now the only thing Democrats should be doing is fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting. However, I think that we have a slight tactical disagreement on how to fight. For me, Chuck Schumer should be tossed out of leadership immediately. We need someone who can actually speak credibly to the American people. I think someone like a Cory Booker or someone like a Chris Murphy is someone who can fill that role. I also think that there are a number of things that Chuck Schumer could have done to actually have fought against this CR instead of voting for it. He could have, for example, gone into the well of the Senate and filibustered all day long today and said, I am not going to allow us to even vote on this. I am just going to preach and read, like Ted Cruz, green eggs and ham for days and days and days. Similarly, he could have vowed, like Tommy Tuberville did recently,
No, stop. Let's do that one. Hold that thought about Tommy Tuberville. Okay. So your last point, you said he should have filibustered all day today and read Green Eggs and Ham or whatever. Is that what you said?
Yeah, I was saying Chuck Schumer could have absolutely just filibustered all day today and delayed and made this entire process far more painful for Trump and for the Senate Republicans.
And you think he should have, or are you just saying?
I'm just saying he could have. I'm saying I think that there are ways that Democrats could have fought this and can continue to fight this.
This is what I agree with you on. This is then they should have done that. Because guess what we would be covering now instead of, oh my gosh, Chuck Schumer bent the knee and whatever. Guess what we would be covering now? Democrats are in their 6th hour of filibuster because they are fighting for blah, 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 blah. Democrats are in their 12th hour of such and such and such and such. And you have all of your big Democratic stars get up there and filibuster.
Yes.
And inform the American people. And you get your biggest people in prime time. Right? You get Chris Murphy in prime time. You get a Cory Booker in prime time. You get AOC in prime time. You get Jasmine Crockett in prime time.
Exactly.
If Jasmine Crockett is speaking, if she has the podium in Congress at 8 o'clock at night when who's on? Chris Hayes is like the probably the pinnacle of the night. Chris Hayes and Anderson and who's on at 8? Whoever it is, I forget who it is on MSNBC. Or is that Jesse Waters or something like that? They're not going to take them. And you have them tell the American people exactly what's going on and give their positions. And you say, we are not backing down because we know we're on the right side of history. So you have to fight, and we will filibuster until June if we have to.
100%. 100%. And then you know what else we can do? As I alluded to a second ago, we pull a Tommy Tuberville and we say we are not confirming, we are freezing every single nominee that Trump puts forth that needs Senate confirmation. You completely shut down the government. And guess what, guys? I have the receipts on this. You can Google me, Peter Rothblatz. I wrote for, I want to say either the New Republic or possibly the Hill, 2 months ago, there is no world in which the Senate should absolutely vote to confirm Marco Rubio. Is he adult in the room? I don't really care because Trump is an autocratic threat to this country. And I do not give a shit if you've had a nice coffee or if you have had a good time in the gym with Marco Rubio as a colleague. Do not vote to confirm him. Guess what? They did anyway. And now look what's happened.
Yeah.
He has
I don't think they should have voted for any of them. I don't think they should have voted for any of them. Because they are not qualified. Just on that. Not that they're Republicans. They're not qualified. I don't think they should have voted on them. And so again, this shows, it epitomizes lack of leadership because Democrats should have been playing the long game, playing chess, and they're not. They should have realized, like, okay, when we have this coming, we have the CR, we're going to have to fund the government, but we can't vote on these people. And because they could still be in the process of not voting on the people if they stood up. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, I completely do. And again, I think our fundamental tactical, not strategic, but tactical disagreement is just on what is the smart move or what is the playing chess move. And for me, I think the playing chess move is to go for the CR because if not, the American people are brutally hurt for several weeks, if not several months, and then Democrats have to crawl back to the table. And ultimately, there's then an even more draconian, even more egregious CR that's agreed to.
Let me ask you this. When you said that it's, what did you say for how long for it's going to be tough for the American people? You said a few weeks,
if not months.
Okay.
Because there's no way in which the Republicans reopen the government on their own.
So then what do you mean? What do you think Donald Trump means when he says it's going to take a little bit of time? It's going to be uncomfortable for a little bit of time. What do you think he means?
Well, that's his tariffs. That's him trying to reorganize the economic global world order.
But what do you think he means by that? What is the length of time on that?
I mean, it depends on what economists you're listening to. Some suggest that it could be a couple of quarters. It could be, say, 6 months. There are some who are saying that it could be a year or more.
Mm-hmm. So then why shouldn't the Democrats adopt his strategy and say, hey, look, he said it was going to be a little bit of time with all of these tariffs and the economy and the stock market crashing. And we're saying, go with us for a little bit of time so that we fight for more than just the economy and the stock market. We're actually fighting for our country. We're fighting for these fundamental, enormous changes to our country that will happen to our democracy if we don't do this at this moment. We're at a moment, we're on the precipice of a dictatorship or autocracy. And if we continue on, if we just keep giving a little bit and saying, if you give, look, there's a thing, let me just say this. There's a thing in the Black community that says, you give a Negro an inch, he'll take a mile. And so if they keep giving Donald Trump and the Republicans or the MAGA folks an inch, they're going to continue to take not only a mile, they're going to take what? Canada? They're going to take what? Ukraine? They're going to take what? Greenland? It's not just a mile. They're taking countries. So Democrats, wake the fuck up and draw a line, not in the sand, but draw a line in the Congress and in the Senate saying, we're not going to do it. I'm just saying. Okay.
No, I totally hear you. An angel in the chat says, why does Peter just want to concede? Everyone has conceded and look how bad it is. And I push back on this idea that I'm conceding. I am trying to fight with the cards we have. Democrats do not have a majority in either house of Congress. We do not have the Supreme Court. Obviously, we do not have the White House. We have so few chips at our disposal. You need to fight with guerrilla warfare. You need to be extremely smart with how you apply pressure and how you utilize leverage.
So you think they need a little bit of time? This gives them time to maybe have some leverage soon, somehow.
I think that, again, Schumer should be tossed out of leadership. I will say that until the cows come home. He is not an effective communicator. He has also utterly bungled the strategy in dealing with this specific fight. The reason why, though, however, I think he, at least in theory, was right, is that, I'm sorry, Guy, I'm saying this now for like the fourth or fifth time. If we shut down the government, there is no way it literally reopens unless Democrats make more concessions. It is the devil you know versus the devil you don't know, but you do know will be far, far, far worse. And so from my perspective, we should have agreed to the CR. We should have staked out our position a week or two ago, so there's not this explosion of energy now. We should have gotten another, at least a few more concessions, hopefully, from the GOP, and then we would have allowed the next several weeks of headlines to still be dedicated to the fact that Trump is cratering the economy.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, Don.
Okay, Peter. How do I say this? Because I don't want to be like, I'm Peter's boss, I'm going to shut him up. Did you finish your thought?
Wait, say again?
Did you finish your thought?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Okay. So what I'm going to say is, Peter, I love this conversation. This is what when I say to you, this is what Gavin Newsom should be doing with people he disagrees with, and he's not. You and I are for the most part on the same side every time, and I don't think we're on different sides here. But look how we're pushing back on each other, and that is what Gavin Newsom is not doing, and that's why it's irking me so much. So one of the reasons that I love you and I have you on this show and the others is because we don't always have to disagree, and it makes us bigger and stronger and smarter. Okay?
100%.
So people are in the chat saying, please be respectful. And I don't think they're talking to me. I think they're talking about people in the chat. This is how people talk in real life.
100%.
And this shows you that what Gavin Newsom is doing is not authentic. He is fucking lying. He is posturing and he is grifting. Sorry, Gavin. I'm sorry. This shows you that because he can, if he really wanted to talk to people he disagreed with, and if those people are being authentic as well, then they would welcome the pushback. But instead, he's just like, hey, I can't get you a reservation at French Laundry. And it's like, wait, what? It's like, Gavin, stop it. Okay. So anyways, let's agree to disagree on certain things. And I think that we have shown the folks who are here on our channel what it's like and what people should be doing. Okay. So a lot of folks are saying, hey, Peter's right, Don's right. It doesn't matter. We're having a conversation. So let's
I
shout
think
out.
they really enjoyed the debate, to be
Yes,
honest.
that's what I mean. So let's shout out some of the people who are in here. Again, I want to say, Chloe, Albert, Three's Revenge, thank you. A filibuster, yes, stand there and read Project 2025 with auto-tune. Thank you for your support of independent media, and I'm glad that you are a member of the Elimination. Welcome, LaShawn, to the Elimination. Welcome, Teresa Mozan, to the Elimination. Welcome to all of our new members and all of our people who agree or disagree with us. We welcome that. And again, I am speaking for the most part for the folks who are out there, not necessarily what I believe, but I'm cut from a different cloth. I have to have integrity. I have to say what I believe. And many times that gets me in a lot of trouble. Many times people don't understand it. But when I'm telling you, when I'm out there on the street, I'm always going to be honest with you. The folks who are on the street are saying, I don't care. I want Democrats to stand up. I don't want to live in an autocracy. Donald Trump, I like Donald Trump. I'm a Republican. I voted for him, but he's not a king. And they're not doing it. And they don't understand because they are not reading the room. They are still living in a time that is gone by. Donald Trump, you got to give him, he is leaps and bounds ahead of them as it relates to messaging, as it relates to the media. He is leading the game and they are following. They are holding up signs at a fake State of the Union that they didn't have to go to, saying, Donald Trump is bad, Elon Musk is mean. And the people are like, wait, is that all you have? So thank you, Carrie Anderson, for becoming a member. Thank you, Bianca Witt. Thank you for supporting independent media. If you want conversations like this, keep going. Keisha and NYC, thank you, thank you, thank you. Make sure you hit the like, hit that thumbs up. Make sure you become a member. It is critical to us to be able to continue to stream, that you support us, and subscribe. It is free. It is at the bottom of the screen, right next to the Don Lemon Show logo. And then take a link, grab the link to the show, and text it to all of your friends and tell them you need to be watching this and you should be part of this conversation. And the other thing I have to say, one other thing, Gavin Newsom, you should be out here supporting people like us who are in independent media, who are centrist or left or progressive, rather than giving a platform to freaking bigots. Good. I love that. But hold them to account. But also come into the lion's den now, the real lion's den. Not going to be people you disagree with, because they're going to be like, oh, Gavin Newsom, he's red pill. He's on our side now. And they're going to go easy on you, but they're never going to vote for you. But the people who are pissed off at you and don't understand what you're doing, that is now your opposition and the people who don't agree with you. So come here and talk to us. Go on other shows now and talk to us. It is different now. You're a different dude now than before. And you're talking to Brian Tyler Cohen and other people. You're different now that you've done this podcast. It's a whole nother world. It's a whole nother show. I'm done. I rest my case. I'm going to get out of here. Anything else, people? Anything else, Peter?
I
Nikki,
just love
Andy?
you, boss, and I love the Lemon Nation.
You don't have to call me boss. Yeah, you do. No, I'm kidding. Nikki's quiet. Nikki,
Hi.
Just so you know, Nikki, when we talk after this, I need you to call me back. We need to doge Peter. Peter's going to be
Oh, got it. Well, don't say it. Don't say it now. No, it's totally making unrelated decisions, unrelated to this.
I thought it was a private chat. So make sure you get the Doge letter ready for Peter, and then we'll talk after this. Kidding. Okay, Andy, anything you want to say?
No, I'm just enjoying it.
Nikki, nothing. Did you guys have a great week?
Oh, I have my opinions on it, but
okay, go. What do you want to say?
Honestly, I respect your opinion on this, Peter. I really do, but I'm more aligned with Don here. I kind of am getting into one of those let the world burn kind of positions. I feel like they should have I don't feel like they should have voted for the censure.
For the CR, for the
I don't think they should have voted for the CR. I think they should have yes, it would have shut down the government, but come on. The government's essentially getting shut down anyway right now with everything you're doing.
Hi, Barkley. Peter, man on an island.
But Peter, I think Peter's making the smart decision. He has the smart take about this, about what we should do. And I'm just like, no, I just want to fight back here. So
yeah.
Sometimes the passionate case is the right case. Sometimes it is. I mean, look, to argue against myself for just a second, look at what Republicans did back in 2009 and 2010. They went with the passion. They didn't do the quote unquote smart thing. And guess what? They built up the Tea Party. They took back the House, and they ultimately, laid the groundwork for the power position they're in now. So sometimes the passion is what's right.
One can make the argument that's essentially what MAGA does all the time. Their passions are very misplaced and bigoted, but they often don't go with the logical decision for literally anything. And it seems to mobilize people pretty well.
Yeah. Okay, guys, we're going to get out of here. I got to go and do things. It's been a crazy week. I just got to say, it has been a crazy week. You guys, let me just thank my team. Someone said, it's so funny, and I don't mean this, is just saying, someone said, Don, someone, I won't say who it is always yelling at their producers, and you never yell at the producers, like even when something comes up wrong. And it's like, why? It's not even worth it, right? I mean, we're all in the same thing. But it's been a rough week, not just politically, but oh my God, like, let's be honest, tax season's coming up. I have like so much paperwork. You guys don't, Sparkly, shut up. You guys don't understand like all the crap that I'm dealing with right now, and whether or not I should fire Peter. Like, there's a lot of shit on my plate. A lot of stuff that, is going on. The world keeps spinning. So it's great to be with you guys, this community, on Friday night, and to be here with you all week. I could not have gotten through this without you. So obviously this is your community, but I love being here. I love that you're here. I just love that you're here. I love that you guys start the conversations in the chat before we go on before we start streaming. I love that you guys are in the chats afterwards. I love that you guys are members. I am so proud of this community. I cannot tell you. I just can't even express how proud I am. You're amazing. So thank you. You guys, come on. We have so much fun. Tell the truth, team, that we continue even after the private chats or even after the shows. We continue the conversations after we all log off of YouTube or whatever platform that we're on. Am I right?
We do.
Oh, we do.
For a while.
Yeah, and we have our little lemon chat.
Yeah. So
if
it's
you
good.
All are not, if you're members of the Lemon Nation, but you're not Lemon Heads or Lemon Legends, I highly recommend upgrading, because we get to have chats like this every single Thursday.
Tim, can you grab him, please? Go, Barks. He wants to play,
has an opinion.
Yeah, Barkley has an opinion. So yes. So look, we thank you, and I would rather have a very committed, niche. What's the word that I want to say? Elegant, the right kind of subscriber and member than having a gazillion people who are not engaged. People are really engaged in our community. They love being in our community. I love it when people say, when I walk on the street and they go, oh, I'm part of the Lemon Nation. I'm a Lemonhead. Today, I was out and about. It is freaking fantastic. Stephanie Ruhle is right. A couple years ago, you could not do what we're doing. Look at what we're doing without corporate influence. It's amazing. Barkley is moving my desk. He wants to play. Okay, Barks. Okay, so anyways, guys, let me just say this. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you follow us on all of our platforms. Follow us on all of our platforms. Go play with Papa. Tim, can you grab him, please? All right, here. This is what he wants. I know what you want. So make sure you follow us and make sure you like and subscribe. Barkley wants some of my pretzels with peanut butter in the middle. He loves them. That's why he's over here. Here, take these. Look, Barkley. Look, Papa has them. Look at this. Whoa. Look, there they go. Look, over there. Better go. I think he has them. I don't have them anymore. Sorry. Okay, guys. As I say every single time, turn this TV off. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Your support means the world to us. So make sure you hit the like button and you subscribe to our channel to make sure that you never, ever miss a video. We're live every day, 10 a.m. Eastern time. We drop even more content at 2 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Eastern. And if you want more Don Lemon Show content, we'd love for you to become a member of the Lemon community, where you will receive access to special community posts. You'll get exclusive content and members-only live shows. So head over to our channel page or click the join button on this video. Again, thank you for watching. We appreciate your love and your support, and we will see you next.